It's time for preseason and episode 2 of the New York Giants franchise on Madden 25. The Giants have a lot of question marks on this roster. The depth is scarce, so we'll see who can end up making this New York Giants team. Some of the starters are already decided. Some starters are big questions. So we will see who can show out and who will be cut out of this team as the Giants start the preseason against the Detroit Lions with Drew Lock as the starter. Coach did not feel the need to throw Daniel Jones out there in game number 1. Drew Lock started his day somewhat decent with a nice hitter to Darius Slayton up the middle. That one went into enemy territory. Darius Slayton, projected number 1 wide receiver, but Malik Neighbors is challenging. There's a knockdown on 3rd and 7 over to Theo Johnson, and the Lions would take over. Big stuff here by the run stuffers coming through, leaving a 4th and 4, getting the football back in the hands of the Giants, and then Drew Lock unfortunately is beat on his RPO read by Alex Anzalone, who will get himself a yick 6 to the casa, as my boy Nelson Bullock would say. Here's Drew Lock up the middle, wide open Malik Neighbors with a huge pass. That middle passing game, middle to deep passing game, working very well for Drew Lock early. 2nd and 5 later in this first quarter. Drew Lock underneath to Daniel Bellinger, who finds his way inside the red zone at the 14-yard line for New York. So with Detroit leading the game 7-0, the Giants get stopped, and they will take a Graham Gano field goal to cut the lead to 7-3. Hendon Hooker in the football game now for the Lions, and he makes the throw right side complete. And that one almost to the 20-yard line, down at the 23. I believe that's Khalif Raymond. And they go for a rush later in the drive. It is Sione Vaki getting into the end zone for the touchdown for the Lions. They're up 14-3. Tommy DeVito finds his way into this football game for the final 3 quarters. Tommy DeVito obviously started a good amount of games for the Giants last year in real life when Daniel Jones was hurt. Unfortunately, there he is hit as he throws and intercepted by the Detroit Lions. Emmanuel Mosley on the interception, and the Lions celebrating a huge interception there. So Lions taking over with possession. 3rd and 4, huge 3rd down. They pick up the first down. Hendon Hooker able to get the clutch pass. With 2 minutes left in the half, Hendon Hooker gets a wide open back out of the backfield. That one almost was a horrible throw, but it ends up working out. Then a throw to the back left corner of the end zone is cut off and intercepted by David Long Jr., one of the many corners looking to make this Giants roster. And it looks like he may have just cemented a job with the team. Huge interception. Tommy DeVito taking over with 1:32 to go. That is a brilliant pass. Jalen Hyatt, they would go ahead and call that incomplete, but the challenge receiver clearly with a toe drag swag is Jalen Hyatt, and that goes for a first down. Then throwing left side, that one complete as well, as DeVito throwing some nice sideline passes right now. DeVito with a little pump fake, and he is brought down by Paschal for the sack. DeVito again with a pump fake up the middle. That one is intercepted, but it looked like DeVito got drilled after he threw that ball. This goes all the way back for a yick 6 to the casa, but we need to check that flag on a huge 3rd and 19. Lions touchdown, but they're not putting those points on the board. It is a roughing the passer call against Detroit, and it's Paschal who had the sack before. Tommy DeVito looking deep, and it's intercepted anyways. Emmanuel Mosley coming up with his 2nd pick of the half. And Detroit just picking off both quarterbacks today. Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, it doesn't matter. Detroit going field goal here, and it is blocked. Unbelievable play. That is McLeod on the block. So he's looking to cement a roster spot. 14-3 at the half in favor of Detroit. After the half, 4:50 to go, third quarter. Hendon Hooker completes a big pass. Long Jr., maybe a touchdown saving tackle on Traquan Smith there. Now 1st and 10 for the Lions, and across the middle it is complete. Traquan Smith just getting open play after play right now on this drive. There's a toss out left and plenty of room to run. Easy touchdown for Lions running back number 27, Zonovan Knight, who ends up scoring on that play. So Lions go up 21-3. There's a nice pass to Daniel Bellinger from DeVito, going for a first down. Now very late third quarter, DeVito rolling to his left. DeVito's going to take off, and he picks up a nice scrambling first down. So the Giants on the move as the third quarter starts to come to a close here. 1st and 10, DeVito going up, and he gets Hyatt into the end zone for the touchdown. But we've got to check the flag again. Points not going up on the board right now. Looks like we might have a guilty party. It's another roughing the passer call on these Lions. They have been nasty on defense, John Kaminsky, but no need to accept that penalty. It is a touchdown to Jalen Hyatt, who beats the press on the right sideline, and Tommy DeVito just launched it up there. Matt Corral going to find his way into the game here in the fourth quarter, and we'll see what Matt Corral can do. We picked him up trying to see if we can spark a little something, maybe for a backup job, and he makes a couple of nice throws early, but the drive does stall, and Graham Gano splits the uprights for another Giants field goal. Giants only 8 points down in this preseason game. Not that winning matters right now, but Hendon Hooker continuing to do well. They would end up picking up a touchdown on that drive, and then right here, the pick six by Matt Corral. Just going to take all hope out of the Giants winning this game in front of their home fans who maybe do want to see a preseason win. Maybe a couple little kids that are watching their first game ever. But the Lions get a 35-13 win. Talk about some of them stats. Hendon Hooker played really well, but we're really going to talk about our team. DeVito, a couple of picks. He did throw the one touchdown to Jalen Hyatt. Daniel Bellinger had a nice game as well. Micah McFadden, 7 tackles and a couple of TFLs. And David Long Jr., 3 tackles and a pick. So now, something new added to Madden this year, these dynamic storylines. We'll have to see how this goes. You should be having a halfback position battle. Which stat will determine the winner of the battle between Devin Singletary? There's no battle. Devin Singletary is our starting running back. I mean, there's just no one else who can take the job from him. You're talking about 81 overall to 70 overall. And apparently that's going to make our entire team lose 10 morale points. Thank you, Madden. Appreciate that. Now we're having a little talk here on defense with Azeez Ojulari, and he says he's a little intense, asking if we would change that about him. And I feel like it's going to be another wrong answer here, but I'd like him to be more of a leader. We'll see. Barry Van Buren wanting him to be more of a leader, and he says, you haven't built up enough trust with me to tell me that. So, yeah, not good for the storylines right now as we move into this game against the Houston Texans, a battle in Texas, as the Giants looking to right the ship here in their second preseason game, and some guys obviously playing for jobs down the road here. So we'll see how it goes against CJ Stroud and company. Texans, very, very different team than they were a couple of seasons ago. But Daniel Jones is going to get the start this time, and we'll see what Daniel Jones' first action of the preseason will look like. Devin Singletary getting his first action of the preseason. There are certain players I did want to mention that you won't see at all this preseason that may have gotten 1 or 2 snaps due to EA depth charts being the way that they are, but there are a few players that we didn't plan on playing at all, like Dexter Lawrence, and Avon Thibodeau. Didn't want those guys out there. We don't want them getting injured. But Daniel Jones leading a very nice first drive right now. Now going to scramble right side and sneak into the end zone for a touchdown. There you go. Daniel Jones doing the bird is the word dance in the end zone. So Giants up 7-0. See if they can hold on to that. Right now they have the football, 3rd and 7 with the first quarter winding down. Big catch for Theo Johnson. I think he's going to be huge for the team this year, to be honest with you. Theo Johnson's going to be really fun to have. There's a nice wide open player in Malik Neighbors. The throw wasn't perfect, but the player being open was. Malik Neighbors really going to be fun to use as well. And Malik Neighbors gets his first Giants touchdown. Of course, not an official one, but a preseason one. We'll take it. 14-0 Giants. Now Stroud spinning and throwing up the middle. That one's going to pick up a first down. He does have an interception in this game that we did not show, but 14-zip, 3rd and 9 now for the Houston Texans. Here's Stroud throwing, and that's tipped away. What a diving stop there by Cordell Flott, who is not a guy that I thought was going to play very well in this preseason, but there's a nice play from him, and the Texans will take a field goal on that drive. Danny Dimes has been playing well early in this game, and he finds Theo Johnson up the middle for another huge first down. Look at Jones' numbers, 103 and 2 TDs early. Now second quarter, 3:50 to go, and he misses the wide open Darius Slayton. Should have been a huge play, but instead it will be Graham Gano with the kick, and it falls short. Graham Gano's got a decent leg on him, but he just short sells that one, and it falls just a few yards short. Harry Van Buren not happy with what he's seeing from his veteran kicker there. Thought they should have had 3 more points, and to be honest, he might be right. Here's Stephon Diggs on a little in route that works perfectly, and he has some great rack yards to pick up a Texans touchdown. So Stephon Diggs in the end zone gives the Texans their first lead at 17-14. Danny Dimes just trying to be a Superman, and there's a little tip drill interception tipped right into the hands of the intercepting player. And fortunately for the Giants, it doesn't go for any points, but coming out of halftime in the 3rd quarter, there you go. It is a big play for Brevin Jordan. Touchdown Texans, and they take an even bigger lead, a 2-score lead. But the Giants are not going away. There is a big throw and catch to Daniel Bellinger as Drew Lock in the football game now. There's the throw that is complete. Bellinger again. He has been a favorite target of Drew Lock early in this preseason. And Bellinger has himself a little TD, doing a little dance. Giants inching closer. Back within 3, and then going for the bubble screen. That's going to work for Wan'Dale Robinson, and a first down. 3rd quarter starting to wind down a little bit. Drew Lock with a perfectly placed ball to Jalen Hyatt. That goes for a first down for New York. So Drew Lock on 2nd and 10, as this could be the last play of the 3rd quarter. No, it's an end zone sneaker there for Jalen Hyatt. He gets in. Thought he was going to get brought down outside the end zone and the quarter would end, but Jalen Hyatt plays a really nice drive there for the Giants. And Tommy DeVito into the game now. A beautiful throw to Jalen Hyatt. These quarterbacks starting to cook a little bit. A 28-24 game here. A little bubble screen to Gunnar Olszewski, who is going to have a really hard time making this roster with some of the talented receivers on it. Here's DeVito again loading up, and a toe drag swag. Jalen Hyatt has been in his bag today. Here's Tommy DeVito looking to throw right side. That one completes, and that goes for a first down as well. Giants moving very well with DeVito right now, but he gets sacked. Big time play there for the Texans defense, leaving a 3rd and 11 now. With 4:09 to play, DeVito drops it in the bucket. And you would never guess It is Lawrence Cager, the I don't know what string tight end, but he may have just made the team with that catch. He may have just guaranteed himself a spot on the 53-man. What a play. Dropped in the bucket from DeVito. So now thrown up the middle, that one complete, and there's a touchdown the other way for the Houston Texans. Quintez Cephas beating the defense. So now 35-30. Giants just got to hold on in this one. But the Texans are moving their way downfield with Davis Mills. He has been playing very well since he came into this football game. But Davis Mills into the end zone, intercepted by Hawkins the third. He's another guy that's going to have a hard time making the roster. But he did a lot for himself there with that game-sealing interception. 35-30, the Giants get the win there. Drew Lock, 134 and 2 touchdowns. DeVito, 97 and a touchdown for him in his time. Hyatt at 87 yards and a TD. Bellinger, 85 and a TD. And Azeez Ojulari, after that little chit-chat we had, he had a couple of sacks. So we move into the final preseason game before we have to make huge cut decisions. And this could be huge for a lot of players on the roster as we are facing the little brother at MetLife Stadium, the New York Jets. This is a huge matchup. You never want to lose those Jet-Giant games as the Giants, right? Here's Aaron Rodgers starting this football game, and he finds Tyler Conklin for a first down. He's been using Conklin a lot on this first drive, and it works out for a first there. 2nd and 5, the throw, and Rodgers is picked off by Josh Thompson. He was brought on the roster for some depth and for a chance in camp, and he's showing out here in preseason game number 3. Some guys that Giants are definitely going to want to hang on to, making plays now. Tommy DeVito going to start this 3rd preseason game, and DeVito right away with a brilliant throw to Wan'Dale Robinson. Now running on the ground, it's Tracy Jr. This is the man they wanted to start or at least get a position battle against Singletary. He picks up a first down, and then look at this throw. DeVito trying to get Tracy on the wheel route. It just doesn't work out. DeVito looking to run away from the pressure, and DeVito takes off up the sideline, pushed out of bounds, 1 yard shy of the first down marker. So that gets Graham Gano in for a Giant field goal. So Giants lead 3-0, 5 minutes on the clock in the first quarter. And again, Rodgers hitting some big tight ends up the middle. It's what he loves to do. Here's Rodgers again, right side throw. That one caught for a Jets touchdown. And that is a huge score for Garrett Wilson. So the New York Jets take the 7-3 lead. Here's the Giants with it now. Nice throw left side. That one complete. DeVito with that awkward throwing motion. It's worked out for him in this preseason, though. Hit out of bounds again. Smacked from behind by Quinnen Williams. But not before DeVito could pick up that first down. But he's got pressure in his face, and he is knocked down by Hassan Reddick. So that brings out Graham Gano for a second field goal try, and he's 2 for 2, making it a 7-6 ball game. Aaron Rodgers finds Tyler Conklin on the drag, and Conklin breaking tackles all the way down to the 24-yard line of the Giants. Later on, a 2nd and 2, and look at that grab. Unbelievable that nobody can make the stop there. Aaron Rodgers now rolling right, throwing up the middle, knocked away. Garrett Wilson couldn't hang on. So it leaves the Jets with a little chip shot field goal to extend their lead back out to 4 points here. Aaron Rodgers setting up the screen. Breece Hall. And Hall with the sidestep finds his way to the 25-yard line. And then Breece Hall eventually to cap off the drive with a short rushing score. So the Jets extending that lead yet again up to 17-6. Tommy DeVito launching one. Wan'Dale Robinson beautiful catch and a huge first down, and that gives Graham Gano another field goal try, and that one up and good. 17-9, later on 24-9 here in the third quarter, and Breece Hall just doesn't get enough for the first down there. He had been really rolling, but they're going to go for it on 4th and inches. No punt, no field goal here, and Breece Hall gets out of that mess and all the way into the end zone. Breece Hall has just been a monster in this game, and the Giants have had no answer defensively for him. Here's Tommy DeVito in a 31-9 game, and what a grab. I have no idea how that was caught, but that is brilliant from Wan'Dale Robinson. 1st and 10. Here's DeVito looking to throw. He was hit as he threw, but he found Tracy Jr., who ends up fumbling the football. And you just can't do that. Carter the second comes up with the recovery, and the Jets get the football back. And they would end up scoring, so it's 34-9. They get the field goal on the board. Here's Gunnar Olszewski really just trying to last minute force himself to make this roster. Here's Olszewski again on the bubble screen. Knocked out at the 7-yard line. 3rd and goal for the Giants. Daniel Jones in the game. And incomplete. Daniel Jones getting his try here late in this 4th quarter, and he fumbles the football. Picked back up by the Giants O-line. But still a 34-9 game. They end up not scoring. And there's an interception on the tip drill. What a spin move. And knocked at the 2-yard line. Jets go ahead with Tyrod Taylor in the game, and they pick up an easy short yardage touchdown for Braylon Allen, a rookie out of Wisconsin. 41-9. Daniel Jones makes a brilliant throw. Maybe too little too late, but Wan'Dale Robinson has been running some really fantastic routes, and then he goes to the well one too many times, and that one intercepted trying to find Wan'Dale Robinson. So the Jets embarrass the Giants. I know it's preseason. The regular season ones mean a little bit more, but this preseason one, it'll mean a lot to the Jets. They get a 41-9 win. Daniel Jones comes in and throws 2 picks. Tommy DeVito, he threw for 131, but he was 9 out of 24. Wan'Dale Robinson had 148 yards in this game. Muasau, he may have earned a roster spot with his great defensive game as well. So now time for another one of these storylines, press conferences, whatever you want to call it. We go to the team meeting room. We want to talk about team culture in this meeting. So Tommy DeVito, who's currently the number 1 on the depth chart just because, he wants to know what our culture is going to be. Now, we're not going to let him choose because he's not actually probably going to be our starter. He was just our starter in that last game. But I would like my team to play, Barry Van Buren wants his team to play mistake-free football. So we're going to try to do that, and we're going to get a +3 boost for the entire season in pursuit and play recognition. So that's huge. Take a look at who's getting cut. We are going to throw Corral on the practice squad. Try to keep these 3 quarterbacks because I think they're the ones that give us our best chance to win. And who knows, if one screws up, another one could get a chance. As far as running back goes, Tyler Batty is going to go to the practice squad, and we're going to stick with our original 3 guys. We are going to cut Gunnar Olszewski. As much as he tried to make the team, and I respect it, I just can't do it. We will be trading Allen Robinson, who will not be making our team either, for a 5th round pick from the Chargers. They get themselves a receiver, and we get ourselves a little 5th round pick. We're also going to cut Miles Boykin, who just does not fit on this roster right now. As far as tight end goes, I don't think Jack Stoll did anything to really warrant him making the team. And we're going to cut Chris Manhertz in favor of Lawrence Cager. He made the huge play. He's going to have to stay on the team. At left tackle, Yadni Kajus has no use on this team. At left guard, it's tough at left guard. Tough choice for sure. But I think we're going to cut Aaron Stinney. I know he's the better overall player, but I think Marcus McKeithen is going to be our backup. At center, we've got 3 of them. But Austin Schlottman just doesn't fit here. 65 at 28 years old. We're going to go ahead and let him go. Tyrone Wheatley Jr. brought in, of course, due to Tyrone Wheatley, former Giant. We're going to go ahead and practice squad him. Looking at some left ends here, Ryder Anderson. We're going to go ahead and throw him on the practice squad. And we're going to straight up cut Riley. He didn't do anything special, so we don't want him around. And as far as right end, Timmy Horn, he can roll over to the practice squad. Defensive tackles, we're going to keep that as is. Left outside linebacker, Thibodeau, Boogie Basham tried his heart out. We're going to go ahead and put Wells on the practice squad. Darian Beavers at middle linebacker can go on the practice squad. We are going to cut Matthew Adams. He is not needed. Okereke, McFadden, Simmons, and Mwasow I'd like to keep here, so we'll see. Carter Coughlin we have still as well. Tomon Fox, we can throw him to the practice squad. Benton Whitley, we'll go ahead and keep him on roster as a backup at the moment. We'll see what we can do here. Corners, let's see what we're looking at with corners. Cordell Flott made a nice play. McLeod made that nice block. Long Jr. made the interception. Hawkins, we can afford to practice squad him, even though he made a nice play. I still would like to throw him on the practice squad. Corner is absolutely tough, I'll tell you. Andrew Phillips is a guy I'd like to keep on roster. Long made a big play. Holmes is probably a guy who could be on the outs here. And Darnay Holmes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who badly need some corners for a 6th round pick. There you go. I think that's pretty fair. We get a 6th. They get Darnay Holmes. We found a home for him rather than just straight up cutting him. And now we look at free safety. Owens and Torrance both to the practice squad, with Mills and Newbin staying. And Josh Thompson made a great play. He deserves to be on the roster. Even though it's a tough choice, I think we're going to keep him on the roster. And we are going to practice squad Dane Belton. So with that said, that doesn't mean we're done. Zonovan Knight kicked our butts in the preseason game against the Lions, and they put him on the practice squad. So we're going to steal him from their practice squad. Quentin Jefferson is sitting in free agency as a D tackle who fits our scheme and could be a nice backup. Charles Harris, another guy just sitting in free agency who would fit our scheme and could play good D end for us. Kaylavon Chason is a guy that fits our scheme and could play outside linebacker for us. And then there's Mahamoud Diabate, who is on the Browns practice squad right now and would fit us very well as a speed rusher. Nick Cross is sitting in free agency right now at the age of 22 and a zone safety that fits our scheme. So we're going to go ahead and sign those guys. That means we got to make room. So Darian Beavers, even though he was put on the practice squad, he's going to get cut off of the practice squad. We are also looking at Tomon Fox. Even though he was put on the practice squad, we were going to cut him off the practice squad as well. Timmy Horn was put on the practice squad, but we are going to say goodbye to him as well. Javarius Owens put on the practice squad. We say goodbye to him. That means that we got to go in and make a couple more moves with Zonovan Knight at running back. Eric Gray can roll to the practice squad, so that'll leave that there. At wide receiver, I don't really want to do anything with wide receiver yet. Tight end either. Left tackle's fine now. Left guard's fine. Center is fine. Right guard and right tackle is fine. Left end's going to need another D tackle. We now have too many D tackles, so we are going to practice squad Perion Winfrey at D tackle now. Left outside linebacker, So Carson Wells, he can roll over to the practice squad for us. Middle linebacker, there are so many here, and I'm very tempted to move one to the outside, and that could still happen because I think all these guys made enough plays to make the squad, so we'll see how it goes. Now, Ben Whitley, he made more plays than Tomon Fox, but now he's going to go to the practice squad. And at corner, I think we're kind of good at corner. Free safety, we're fine. Strong safety now with Cross being brought in is tough. I don't want to cut Josh Thompson. So because I don't want to cut Josh Thompson, we are now instead going to cut Carson Wells. Tough choices need to be made in the preseason, and now Josh Thompson can go to the practice squad. And for our last final cut, instead, we will be trading Isaiah Hodgins to the Pittsburgh Steelers with a 6th to obtain a 4th. What are we looking at in the draft? Here is our draft class. There are 3 potential QBs early on. Round 1, 2 top 5 quarterbacks. Brian Franklin out of Arizona. He's only 5'11", 229. And then there is Michael Whitfield. He's 6'1", 229. So 2 top 5 21-year-old quarterbacks coming into the draft. And then there's Phillips down there. He may be 23 years old, but another round 1 projected quarterback, Sean Phillips out of Arizona State. We're going to look at our scouts right now, and we are pretty much gonna fire everybody. I don't need a tight end. I think Theo Johnson can be our tight end for years now. So we're gonna fire all of these scouts, and we are gonna go out and find some different ones. First scout we're going to bring in is Kenny Ramsey, specializing in quarterback and safety. Then we're going to grab Katrina Burns, quarterback and cornerback. And then Felix Perez is quarterback wide receiver. You're noticing the pattern there. Sheila Thornton is tackle and interior offensive lineman, so that'll definitely help. And then DND tackle with Lynn Glover. So the trenches and a lot of quarterback. As you can see, we really want to get those quarterbacks scouted out and maybe find our franchise guy, because I don't know if he's in the building right now. Not after that preseason. So we assigned all of our scouts to their proper regions. We got 2 regional quarterback scouts and a national quarterback scout. We are going very conservative, only projecting 4 wins this season, but we'll probably surpass that because it is Madden. But let's take a look at the schedule. We start at home against the Minnesota Vikings, then go on the road to the Commanders and the Browns before coming back home on Thursday Night Football to face the rival Cowboys. Then we go on the road to Seattle. We're home for a Sunday night game against the Bengals, then home for the Eagles before a Monday night game in Pittsburgh, home against the Commanders. Then we are in Munich against the Panthers before a bye week, then home against the Bucks before going on the road on Thanksgiving to the Cowboys, and then being home for the Saints and the Ravens, on the road for the Falcons, home for the Colts, and on the road for the Eagles. That being said, the first game against the Minnesota Vikings will be coming to you in the next episode. I hope you're excited for the series. Did you think I made the right cuts? What would you have done differently? Let me know in the comments section below. How hype are you for this New York Giants franchise? See you next time, everybody.